What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Jump. I want to have a conversation, brothers, about SZA, okay? I don't really listen to her music. I'm not a new school kind of guy. You know, I'm in love with Mary J. Blige, so me listening to SZA is like cheating on Mary J, okay? In my mind, Mary J is my first and last and everything. You guys know I love her. I don't care if she was a single mom. I would still raise all the kids and simp. But SZA, from what I understand, is a very talented artist. I've heard like 1 or 2 songs from her. She sounds like she has a very good voice. And, you know, the 2016 SZA was a hell of fine. But this, interview that she gave to the British Vogue is troubling, okay? First of all, SZA has had a lot of problems in her life, a lot of ups and downs. And she went to Delaware State, dropped out of college in her last semester. She started stripping, doing things, running from the police. I guess it's that St. Louis in her. Used Alderall. But she has a relationship with this lady by the name of Amber. They are known to have an unusual yet intimate relationship. And now that SZA is 35, she wants to start a woman with this lady by the name of Amber. But if she doesn't do it in the next 1 or 2 years, she won't do it. And when I look at SZA's dating history, I'm taken aback. And the reason why I am taken aback is because it appears to me it's like all men. There's Drake, there's other guys there. Some of the guys are white. And then all of a sudden you'll hear that, certain women will come out as queer all of a sudden. Kalani was supposed to be queer, allegedly. Then Kalani ends up getting pregnant by this guy. Well, I don't know if she was lesbian, but she was lesbian, and then I guess put a pause on that, and then did it do with this guy, had a kid, then she went back to it, now she's in the cult. I'm not sure. But this is what this reveals to me, that a lot of ladies understand one thing, that the options for men are just not there. And for some of them, being alone is not what they're gonna do. If they have to open up their options. Being queer is something that may be a part of them. They've always been that. Look at Keke Palmer. Keke Palmer identifies with being in the queer community. Although it seems like to me the preference is obviously men, then when that doesn't work out for whatever reason, and we already knew why it wasn't going to work out, she's doing much better than this guy. All of a sudden now we have found out, you know what, I'm gay. I didn't know. I'm bisexual. I didn't know. I just found out yesterday that I always liked women, and I just didn't know. And I'm not saying that that is not true, but I'm going to tell you what is true. You will be seeing more queer. You will be seeing more women coming out on this behalf. Number one, first of all, I think that, it's probably more socially acceptable to do that, and there's no consequence for doing that. You could have some people just trying to cater towards that community for other opportunities and reasons like that. Because if you can say queer, you can say you're queer and really not technically be queer and still date men and just say, oh, okay, well, I'm queer, and then really be living a heterosexual lifestyle. But some women are not going to do that. Some women are going to be living with women. And it's not necessarily because women are their first choice all the time. Now, sure, you will definitely have that, where women are going to be their first choice because, they'll have a partner as a woman. But one of the realities is that somebody like SZA that has, as it seems, a life that is, I don't want to call it a troublesome life. I will say it's a life that is very interesting. A lot of the men that these ladies want, because remember, what they want in men and what they want in women are going to be 2 different things. It's just going to be easier to get that from a woman. Because right now, what we're seeing in our time, this is the one time in history where men are like, whoa, your stock is high, bruh. Your stock is high. Men's stock is high. If you're a guy, God forbid, you can read and write, you can count, you're responsible, you keep yourself up a little bit, you're out of this world right now. Seriously. Don't get me wrong. You're nothing like a pretty woman, but like deep down inside, it's like having a football team and a quarterback with a great arm and a running back that's very talented, but you have no offensive line. It doesn't really matter how good your specialty players are, your skill positions without the offensive line. But when you have a good offensive line, it opens up so many opportunities. And for women, men are the offensive line for the offense. Men are that strong defensive line for the defense. It makes everything else better. Not trying to say that this cannot happen in same-sex relationships. I am speaking about what I understand, which is that heterosexual relationships. So when a woman wants to deal with a man in a heterosexual environment, it's hard for her to get that guy that is anchored, that anchors that line, that opens up the other parts of the world for her that she can't. And the reality is just, there's just too many opportunities for these guys right now. And a lady like SZA, it's great that she's beautiful. It's absolutely wonderful that she's in the industry, but it's hard to keep top guys right now. It's hard to keep guys who are really swinging the bat. It's really hard for women these days. I mean, let me just talk about this. I'm living over in Africa right now, as you guys know. Uganda to be exact. Some sisters really want to come over to Africa and get a man. You can definitely come to Africa and get a man, but good luck in coming to Africa or Uganda or Kenya or Nigeria and getting a rich man, because there's no rich guys for the most part single. You're gonna have to take a number, okay? And I'm not trying to be mean, but for the most times, that's the truth. Here, like in the city of Chicago, I think has like 300,000 millionaires. You might not even have 300,000 millionaires in 20 countries in Africa. So the guys who have money, they really stand out and ladies really fight over them, and the guys know it. The guys know it. When I see women here trying to get somebody that can take care of them, it's like pulling teeth for the most part. And the men here have so many opportunities with ladies. I mean, you see it just out in the open, like, oh, a guy is just there. The Baltasar thing that happened, right? We all talked about. The Baltasar thing, it was really uncommon for the rest of the world to find it out, but it wasn't so uncommon for me to think about it because I live here. So to live in Africa and to understand how rich guys have it, that didn't shock me, And it's also the same in the States where it's very competitive, and women, don't get me wrong, they're very special. Women are important. Women are very important. But the problem is that if you're not what a guy wants, and if you're not what a guy can say, you know what, I want to give up everything that I got going on right now to be faithful to you. You got some options that you got to consider. And SZA don't want no broke guy. SZA wants somebody like her. It only makes sense. But one of the reasons is that it's going to be hard for SZA to do that, okay? So SZA has to kind of, okay, look at my opportunities. And right now, I believe the opportunity was with the best friend. And I'm going to tell you why that is. SZA's been knowing that lady for over 20 years. Why did SZA go out there and not deal with her at first? She could have been dating that girl. Want to know why she didn't date that? Because she didn't want to date her, okay? It wasn't until SZA decided that, you know what, this is not really working out for me. This whole thing, this thing, I'm not really getting what I want. So Amber, hey boo, what's up? You've been trying to holler at me for a long time. Like, you want this? I mean, do you still want this? Do you really want this? It's like Eazy-E, that song. Only if you want it. Yes, I really want it. Like, do you really want it? We need to know. And so now that's where you're at. Now it's to the point like, okay, yeah, I'll consider that because the other stuff that I'm doing right now, it's not really working out, boo. Come on to take me away from my misery. Okay, let's just, I'm tired of dealing with these guys. And this is going to be happening more often. Either you have women pissed off at men and dealing with women or becoming queer, but this is going to happen more. This will happen more. Just like the men are talking about, I'm not really interested in having kids right now or ever. Women are saying the same thing. And it's sad that this is happening around the world. But hey, man, this is where we're at. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, SZA Jackson, back at it again. Another episode of Celebrity Junker. Appreciate you for all you do. Curly Bell. We're out.